Hi, this is Christy Knighton, and this is Artifact 9, Standard 5.1, Criterion 16, Accommodate Learner Differences. Use technology to create, adapt, and personalize learning experiences that foster independent learning and accommodate learner differences and needs. I met this standard when I used technology to personalize the learning experiences to foster my middle school students' independent learning and to accommodate each student's needs. One unit in which I met the standard was in Unit 4, Fighting Injustice. I delivered multimodal content within unit form, fighting injustice in the argumentative writing section of the unit. To learn and understand how to write an argumentative essay, I chose to give students several options to help them understand the skills in a way that made sense to them. For instance, my middle school students received playlists of activities that gave them choices of activities that they could complete. The playlist makes it personalized and incorporates their interests. Some technology that I used included Google Classroom, podcasts, interactive internet content from places such as the New York Times, animations, and online graphs, charts, and political cartoons. I also personalized student learning in the activities that they had to complete so that they had various ways to understand the material. I used multimodal content to teach the argumentative writing process, infographics, mentor text, political cartoons, comics, Padlets, charts. I even allowed students to find examples of arguments from their interests, such as from songs, memes, news, sports, etc. Artifact 9, Standard 6.1, Criterion 19. Facilitate and guide learning as students take ownership of their learning goals. Foster a culture where students take ownership of their learning goals and outcomes in both independent and group settings. In my middle school classroom, students complete a goal sheet for each unit. Each unit student's goal plan has the learning outcomes that students are expected to master by the end of the unit. Students take these learning outcomes to write 3 goals for the unit. These goals answer these 2 questions. What knowledge and understandings do you need to acquire by the end of the unit? What skills do you need to be able to complete the final assessment? I provide examples for them to use. Our school motto is that we are all teachers, learners, and leaders. So, on their goal sheet, students also have to reflect on how they will demonstrate the school motto within the unit. Next, students have to create action steps to meet the goals, and they will reflect on their learning at the end of the unit. Students also take ownership of their learning by using a Google Sheet to keep up with the scores on the different competencies of the unit. Artifact 9, Standard 7.1, Criterion 23. Provide alternative ways for students to show competency. Provide alternative ways for students to demonstrate competency and reflect on their learning using technology. Students worked on the Fighting Injustice unit, which had them thinking about workplace safety, and for their summative assessment, specifically Amazon's workplace safety. In all units in my classroom, I try to offer my middle school students a chance to voice their choices about how they will show that they've met the standards. Some of the things that they've done in the past include podcasts, writing an essay or a speech, and using infographics. For this unit, students had to answer this question: does our country need to take steps to protect the health and safety of workers at Amazon? To answer the question in an argumentative fashion, students could use Google Docs to write an op ed for the local newspaper. They could use Google Docs to write a speech and then use Flipgrid to record themselves with the possibility to send the speech to senators and representatives. They could use the Book Creator website to create a book that argues their opinion, or they could come up with an acceptable alternative assignment of their choice to meet the standards. This project was also authentic and meaningful to the students. It was open ended and complex, and students had the opportunity to take the lead in the learning process and had the opportunity to take ownership of their learning.